do you want to tell us about or tell our listeners about your activist group that you've started as well, and kind of like where that began?
So I'm the co-founder of Racism Unmasked Edinburgh, which is a non-profit organisation. We're based in Edinburgh, just run by a group of volunteers, and it's a safe space. It's a community for East and Southeast Asian people, for allies as well. We focus a lot on educating allies on how to be better active bystanders.
That's good.
And just anti-racism, awareness, education. We operate a lot on social media just to raise awareness and just tell people just to normalize the conversation, because since Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Matter community and that whole movement really just paved the way for a lot of people of color and also other marginalized groups to have the ability, to have the empowerment to speak out about things that they're affected by. We have a lot to thank them for, because it's something that as a community we've never ever really spoken about. Is highly stigmatized. It's so stigmatized. And so I did have a lot of Chinese friends, because I went to Chinese school on Saturdays. That was a time.
I can relate. I went to Russian school on Saturdays.
Really? Oh, yeah. So we had a community from that, and I made friends through that, and we have lots of really close family friends who I've just grown up with. But this is something that we've just never ever spoken about, because it's so taboo, and it's not, because it kind of, I think people try so hard their whole lives to fit in. And if you mention this kind of stuff, it kind of reminds you that you don't fit in. And it's what it breaks down that facade that you're trying to build up. Yeah,
it's almost like this kind of if I've had something traumatizing happen, then I just block it down, and then I won't literally remember it happened to me until maybe 3 years later. Do you know what I mean? And it's just this protection way. Just don't think about it or something. Which is quite sad, because the best thing for you is to talk about it, and to say this is not okay, and I do not allow this in my life or to happen to me, or if it does happen, to stand up for myself in a sense. But yeah, that's really, really cool. You've just really opened the dialogue up and created like you said, a community where people can feel safe, which is amazing. We were reading through all your posts, all of your safe stories on your Instagram, which is super educational. We've literally read up so much, and I feel it's really opened my eyes, because where I said, where I'm from, we didn't have a big Asian community. It was mainly just kind of white, black, Hispanic, mainly. And so I just never even thought about this topic, people would be racist against Asian Culture and everything. It just never really it just was never brought to my attention until seeing it firsthand to a friend, and then seeing you speak about it even more. So you're really educating people.
I agree. I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. I wasn't aware either. And I feel I've just seen snippets here and there, and actually, funnily enough, even the Kardashians posted about it, and they were kind of speaking out. But
I didn't know that.
They were kind of really angry about everything that's been going on. So that's kind of the only thing I've really seen.
I think a lot of people don't think it's an issue because of the model minority myth. I don't know if you've heard about that. It's basically Chinese and also just East and Southeast Asian people are always portrayed as hard workers. They'll just get that they're in top positions. They're doing fine. It's basically a way for people to be oh, look at them. They're a marginalized group, but they're doing well for themselves. If you do that, you can do whatever your mind sets you to. And it's just not true. It's a way for basically white supremacy to reign over everything, because it's oh, just let them deal with their issues, portray them as doing fine for themselves, and then tell other people to do that, and just that's a way for them to just be able to ignore their issues. So we've all heard jokes about Asians being good at maths and being good academically and stuff, and it's just something that was thrown around at school. And some people, a lot of people have told me like over time, like, oh, you should take that as a compliment because that's a good stereotype. But actually it's horrible. Yeah.
No stereotype is good in my opinion. Like, it's not. That's like someone calling me a dumb blonde. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's no, it's like, kind of, fuck off. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, that's a very small comparison, but it's like, I would get annoyed if someone said that to me, and that's such a like small like comparison in retrospect of like attacking my heritage. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how dare you comment
also
on
that's
anything,
kind of like
something you don't know about.
Like, to be good at maths. I'd be like, I'm shit at maths.
I know. And I really struggled at maths at school, and it was just like, if I did badly, people were like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're Asian. Fuck? Like, what? Like, there's something going wrong here.
What?
So I didn't really actually get any help for it. Like, my teacher just basically gave up on me because he was just like, there's clearly something wrong with you because you're Asian. Like, you should be good at maths.
What?
And then when I worked so hard, because I wanted to get into medical school, I needed the maths to be good. Like, that was a requirement. So I worked so hard. I put like my other revision time aside. Like, I ate into the revision time for other subjects to do maths because it was the one that I was lacking in. Yeah. And when I did really well in that, it was off, like, you know, my own hard work and stuff. Yeah. And it was just really downplayed and, like, belittled because everyone was like, oh, it should be that way because, it's in your blood, isn't it? Like, so... Yeah, it's kind of like you can't win either way.
Knowledge is not in your blood. Like, you can't just wake up and know. Or it's not even just that. It's like kind of things. So there's some people that are more like artistic, some people that are more mathematical and logical. And you can't just expect somebody to know something. Or like to be able to
box
or click.
Created.
Like maths did not click for me at all. Mm-hmm. I literally had to do I finished school. And I was like, I don't have maths. I can't get into uni. So I literally had an extra year before I went to uni that I said it was my gap year because I kind of fucked around and I had to do a maths course and had to do like kind of standard grades basically just to get through the bare minimum to get into uni.
It's so stupid. And then you never use it again. Like, they tell us that we need it, but I've literally never used it. I use it to figure out how much I owe people for my bill at the restaurant.
I use a calculator. I'm like so lazy. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know. Or like how much you're getting off like in a sale. You know?
Yeah, I do that.
But
so
you don't need to do like long division in life, do you? Like
geometry. Never need
unless
that.
you're doing like mechanical engineering or
exactly.
a job like that.
But then they make you retake it again. Like, so it's kind of like, I mean, in the States, that's how, like, uni works. Like, all the classes you take in high school, they make you take it, like, all over again the first 2 years of your university. And then the next 2 years are your more, like, kind of focused years for your degree. Yeah. And then the next 2 years are, like, if you're a doctor, dentist, veterinarian type thing.
It takes them so long to do anything.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You know, like, I heard some of my friends from America said that if you miss a class... you basically like fail the semester or something.
Yeah, they're super strict.
How
like,
nuts is that?
Very strict.
I barely went to uni. Like, I literally barely showed up. Yeah. So I find that nuts being there like every single day. And even if you're sick and dying, they still don't forgive you. They're like,
you have to have a doctor's note, like for real. Like like every time. Like,
It's
like
brutal.
like I remember I left early. Like, oh, this teacher, I swear, like, she had an alcohol problem. Like, she would show up smelling like booze, and she was always 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late. 15 minute late. I was like, yo, teach. And she would smell like booze, and then she would just be outrageous. Like, she would just be like, I don't know, like, she just made no sense when she spoke. And she was teaching us psychology, and like, I was like, I'm just studying you, and that's why I'm passing this class. I was like, literally.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I aced every fucking test, like every test. And she basically said on our last exam that we had to wait because she would just disappear. Like, you know, like she would just leave. And so I finished my exam and she wasn't in there. And I was like, I'm leaving. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm done. This is the last class. This is the last day. Like, I'm leaving. Here's my test. Put it on her desk. And she failed me. What? She failed me even though I aced everything. And it's in the States, it's like the teachers, well, I don't know if most colleges are like this, but the college I went to, it was like teachers had the final say no matter what.
What?
So I had to retake the whole class.
Oh my God.
What a bitch.
What
the fuck?
Is that when people start bribing them? Like, does that happen?
Yeah, it definitely happens.
Really?
I've never seen someone do it, or like, but I'm 100% positive that it does happen.
I've heard that about like the really expensive universities and like maybe like people paying others off to get into university, but not about grades. Yeah, I know it happens in Russia a lot. Like my friends paid their way through uni. Literally, she was like, "Damn, I'm so broke. I've got my exams coming up," and I was like, "Why is that related?"
That's amazing.
And she,
that's so funny. I'm so broke. My exams are coming up. I gotta save up for my exams.
Yeah, because you'd be like paying, you know.
Every little helps, I'm telling you. If I could do that somehow. Oh, I need to pass these exams, man.
Yeah, you will.
I need to graduate.
We believe in you.
Yeah,
You've got it.
Thank you.
After 7 years, like, you have to finish it. It's just like...
I know.
God, you're making her feel worse.
I was like, fuck, that's pressure. I fucking know that. Like,
thanks for telling me again. Oh my God, you're the first person to say that.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I had no idea. In 7 years, no one said that to me.
That's so funny. I know. Now I've got the giggle.